Hey, everybody. Glad to be back with you today. Ryan Bearden here for part two of our four-part series on supercharging your marketing team with the power of AI. If you remember yesterday when we met, we focused on market research. We did a deep dive into the food service industry and looked at things like top trends over the last 12 months. What are growth projections for the market? What is the total available market? What are headwinds that the industry is facing? Who are the major players? We did a very, very deep dive into the industry research, the market research. Then we moved over to NotebookLM, where we took all of that. We had about 13 pages of deep research, moved over to NotebookLM, and we summarized everything, gave us the key points of that, but also recommendations on how we can position ourselves in this market in light of those trends. So today what we're going to do is we're going to focus on competitive analysis. So let's jump right in. And one way to think about this is we're building the foundation really for our marketing efforts. We're starting to lay the foundation. We start with market research. We want to understand everything we can about our particular market. Then we want to understand everything we can about our competitors. And so that's what we're doing. We're laying this foundation. So we're going to do the same thing we did yesterday. We're going to focus on ChatGPT, the deep research function, and NotebookLM. So what I did is I got my prompt here and I put two documents in here to start with this. I put a little background on competitive analysis. Essentially what I did is here are the companies I want to focus on, but I'm trying to anonymize it as best I can. I know this industry pretty well, but for the interest of this, try to keep it anonymous. And then I also put the research that we conducted yesterday, put in there. And so I gave it, the prompt I gave it is really going to focus on looking at these competitors and the key areas I want to focus on, the company details. What's their overview, their vision, their mission? Who are their target industries and their ideal customer profile? And how are they positioning themselves? What are their strengths and weaknesses? I really want to go out and understand not what they think their strengths and weaknesses are, but what are users telling us? So I'm actually having to go look at user review sites and aggregate some of that information. And then as best it can, give me a marketing strategy for each of those competitors. How are they going to market with their message? And so by including the market research, I also asked it to look at all this through the lens of that market research that we've already conducted. So as you'll see, it came back like we know, it came back with some really great questions. What's the depth of research that we want to do? What's preferred output? It's actually asking me, do you want a structured report? Do you want a table? How do you want this in slides? And then if it asked me if I want to prioritize any specific sites, in which case I did highlight a few user review sites, G2, Trust Radius, Capterra, et cetera, that I wanted to go and look for. So just like yesterday, it came back with quite a bit of information here. In this particular one, this strengths and weaknesses, it gave us the reviews that it was able to find, and then it gave us the top 5 strengths and the top 5 weaknesses, which is really important for us to know, right? We want to know where we're going to win, where we're going to lose with these guys. So anyway, as you can see, very similar to what we saw yesterday. It gave us deep research. It worked for about 6-7 minutes on all this. And even at the end of it, it gave me this handy little, pardon the nausea fit here, but it gave me this table where it summarized everything for each one of these folks: target customers, market positioning, aggregate user reviews. So a nice little summary at the end of that in-depth analysis. So then what we did is we hopped over to NotebookLM, right? Just like we did yesterday. And as you can see here, I put the competitive analysis over in here as the resources. This is the market research we did yesterday. Now I'm adding this to it. So we're just building on it here. And if you recall here, this is what it gave me here: the key trends, the summary, key trends in North America food industry, growth projections, key challenges for these folks, who are the major players, and here's recommendations for positioning your company and offerings. Pretty cool. So then we just built on that, and I included the competitive analysis stuff. And it started by giving me a summary of overlapping areas where the competitors offer similar functionality, which I thought was really cool. I didn't specifically ask for this. I asked for a comparison and analysis of how we stack up against the 3 competitors. So I thought this was really great. The analytics and reporting, integration capabilities, focus on efficiency and cost control. These are some of the things that all of the folks talk about. And then here's where we can stand out in our marketing messages. So it's literally giving me recommendations on here's where you can stand out based on what we know about the industry and based on what we know about your competition. Here's some recommendations on differentiating yourself. So again, very cool stuff. Again, as I said before, what we're doing is we're laying the foundation here. We're just making sure that we have a strong foundation we can build on. So next time we're going to actually start putting this to action. So in our next episode, we're going to focus on building sales plays and sales battle cards. We want to arm our salespeople to be able to position themselves in conversations with prospects against the competitors. And also not areas where we want to focus on our strengths, but where do we want to stay away from, or how are we going to combat these objections? So anyway, tune in next time. Hope you find this valuable. If you missed the first episode, but you want to go back and watch it, you can find me on YouTube at Beard and Marketing Solutions, or just go find my LinkedIn page and they'll be up there. And I will see you next time. Take care.